All right, welcome back. Today I want to talk about why your life is like a taco. Um, Making some tacos and kind of thought of this video idea. I want to talk about how each layer of your life is like a taco, where it's needed to make the perfect taco. And these 6 categories that I'm about to share are similar to each of these layers, whether it's the meat or the tomato or the lettuce or the cheese or the sour cream or the taco sauce, or I don't know if you put cilantro on your tacos, but if you haven't, you should try that. Or the shell that holds it all together. So starting out, I'll just list the 6 categories and then I'll go kind of in depth onto those. So number 1 is character development. Number 2 is finance. Then we have health. We have personal relationships. We have spirituality. And finally, we have community. So these are the 6 I'm going to dive into today. So number 1, character development. What is character development? This one, the most obvious, where it's who you are and how you improve your skill set, whether that's a hard skill or a soft skill. And we do this through many ways. This one's kind of the most ubiquitous in use. And for example, learning about new topics, you're learning skills, or speaking to people, you're learning soft skills on how to interact. So character development itself is bettering yourself as a person. Next, we have health. Health, also, this is when you're taking care of your physical health, your mental health, you can say spiritual health as well. And this is crucial to, one, make yourself fit. And when you're more fit and athletic, you just have an easier and more accomplished life. Studies show that people who have more athletic ability or are in better shape often do better, and that's mainly because they have a higher sense of discipline and a higher sense of waiting for the outcome and not seeing instant transformation. Because a lot of times when you hit the gym for the first day, you're not going to see anything. For the first week, you're not going to see anything. For the first month, you might start to see something. But it's really after you go for a year, 2 years, 3 years is when you see real change. So the next is finance. And we kind of relate it to the cheese because like you're making some cheddar. With finance, this is what correlates to obviously the money you make. But not only that, it's also the wealth you build over time and through different channels and ventures. So whether that's through business, whether that's through a career, whether that's through real estate or other investments, this is kind of finance. It kind of encompasses that. Next, you have personal relationships. These are the connections you have in life, whether that's friends, family, co-workers. It can be personal or professional relationships. And also this includes the networking, and it kind of positions networking as its own important aspect, not just something to do to further yourself in your career or help you in other aspects. It's finding that personal connection to really dive deep into who we are as people and being able to connect on a deeper level. And all right, so number 5. So we've gone over character development, health, finance, personal relationships. And number 5 is spirituality. Now this is kind of like the taco shell of the taco, which kind of holds everything together. If you don't believe in a greater power, or actually I would want to even say if you don't believe in a God, you may have no hope in making it. Joking, but also not really. I think with, I'd say, one exception, anyone who doesn't believe in a greater power or doesn't have we'll call it like a North Star to guide their morals and guide the actions they take, it is going to be very hard for them to succeed, and for them to succeed and feel fulfilled and accomplished with that success. I think spirituality kind of grounds everything and gives purpose to a lot of stuff, and also gives direction. So spirituality is a big one, and that's a lot of times doesn't need to be, like a lot of these things can be seen by others. This one, it's a more personal relationship between you and your creator or your God or whatever you call it. But it's definitely a very necessary aspect of your life and my life. Lastly, number 6 is community. This, similar to spirituality, but more on a people and worldly level. If you don't give anything to anyone, like, you're just taking. And takers in life, if you know a taker, stay away from them. If you are a taker, really look into yourself and ask yourself why and what you can give instead. I definitely used to be a taker when I was a kid. But I guess that might be normal, maybe not. And then I realized, I was like, what am I doing? I need to start giving to this world and giving to people around me instead of taking their attention or taking their time or money. So be a giver, don't be a taker. Now there are takers, there are givers, and there are people in the middle who are like transactors, where they'll give and they'll take. Try to be a giver and try to avoid takers, whether that's you yourself being a taker or people you are around, because they'll drain you, and in the end it'll just hurt you. So with community, the more you give to your community, the more the community is going to give back and work for you. And when I say work for you, I mean as in a work of connection and thoughtfulness versus a work of like what you think of work as in like working for someone. But basically work for your community will work for you, and you guys will kind of grow together. And just having a community in general will make a lot of fulfillments and accomplishments seem, I wouldn't say minimal, but not as important, because when you have a community around you, that's all you really need in life. And sure, everything else is great and everything else will help ground you, but this is what makes life really beautiful. So work on your community, work on finding the people who bring your energy up and not lower it. Anyways, that's about what I have today. I'm going to start eating these tacos now before they get cold. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.